What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news, and this week the Dawning is live. Bungie already have some fixes for missing quests and ingredients, and they tell us that Dawning's weekly reset will be at a pretty weird time, so we'll explain all of that. But Bungie also give more clarification about the mysterious Hawkmoon pop-up we saw over reset, additional details about future updates, and their hopes for crossplay in 2021. But additionally, Luke Smith teases that we are going to see more Stasis fragments through Year 4 inside of a new interview. So we've got some neat discussion there, and a few other things to round up in the video. And guys, as always, I hope you do enjoy this one. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing we're going to speak about today is the future of Stasis, and apparently more fragments are on the way throughout the next few months. So we've got a new article by Ryan Gilliam at Polygon, where he spoke briefly to Luke Smith about Stasis, and we do get some positive news about how Stasis is going to evolve for Guardians throughout this year. So we can see Destiny 2 game director Luke Smith confirms new aspects are planned for future seasons. And they do point out initially that other entirely new Darkness subclasses are relatively likely entries for Witch Queen or Lightfall, and those are the expansions that we're going to get over the next couple of years. But they go on to say that currently each Stasis subclass has 2 aspects, which is enough to fill both slots, and that's it. And then of course players can earn 6 fragments that they can change out at will, with Stasis being fairly static and fragments being the only differentiator between players. But apparently this won't be for long, and Luke Smith said that the intention is to add more. So between now and next fall's Witch Queen expansion, Bungie will add more aspects and fragments to Stasis, allowing players to interchange their aspects and more uniquely customize their subclass. Obviously that is pretty positive news, and I guess is a question that we've had for a little while now, but they go on to say that in our conversation with Smith, he made it clear that the new system isn't just meant to differentiate the light and dark subclasses going forward. The goal was to offer more customization to players, and Smith quoted a fellow co-worker, Kevin Yanis, who refers to the new subclass system as Diet Materia from Final Fantasy VII. Currently players don't have that level of customization. It finishes by pointing out, of course, we don't quite have that level of customization, but over the next few seasons, Stasis certainly looks to expand. So again, something that we kind of hoped would be the plan, and Bungie had suggested that it was something that would grow, but it's good to have confirmation that aspects, and fragments specifically, are going to be expanded. But we should also bear in mind that Bungie kind of loosely suggested that Stasis and how it affects enemies is something that could expand this year as well. Who knows, maybe we'll see Stasis Vex in the Vault of Kulhas. There is a lot of potential, and I'll be curious to get a sense of what you guys think about Stasis growing this year down in the comment section. Now though, for a couple of additional updates, a week or so ago Bungie did confirm that crossplay is something they plan to bring into the game in 2021. And I have seen quite a few questions in the community about whether that's going to mean full crossplay between PC, Xbox and PlayStation, and of course all of the different versions of those platforms that we now have. And we do get confirmation that yes, that is essentially the plan. And there was some feedback about having the ability to toggle that crossplay on and off for things like the Crucible. But Cosmo said, we'll definitely consider everyone's feedback as we build the feature. And the goal is to allow you to be able to play with your friends, so we definitely don't want to cut PC console crossplay altogether. But I'll let the team know that players would like some options available to control how crossplay works in competitive modes like Crucible and Gambit. And so really that does confirm, as the name suggests, that yeah, full crossplay is what we're going to be looking at. But hopefully the ability to toggle those things on and off, especially when it comes to PvP, right, is also going to be an option in the game. So I'd be curious to get your thoughts about that one as well in the comment section, guys. Another thing though that we should mention, since Beyond Light, the stat rolls on armor that Zavala, Shaxx and the Drifter have actually re-roll every single week, so they aren't completely static rolls. And Magic Mr. Lemon on Reddit did point out that you have to have obtained the armor from the weekly challenge. So these drop when you complete 8 bounties from these vendors. But once you've unlocked them, the armor pieces appear as repurchasable items from those vendors, once again with the random rolls on a weekly basis. So it's definitely worth paying attention to these vendors every week. Especially with Transmog, the ability to use universal ornaments and stuff like that. With the exception of certain mod slots, you could definitely acquire some pretty high stat armor rolls from these vendors. Up next, let's speak a little bit about the Dawning, which has kicked off this week. Firstly, some things to note from Bungie. They said due to an issue, the Dawning event weekly reset will happen at 9 AM PST, which is 1700 UTC on Sundays for the duration of the event. But the normal weekly reset will still be on Tuesdays. Pretty bizarre one right there. That is the normal daily reset time, but the actual weekly reset for the event will take place on Sundays. And really, most of the pursuits inside of the event aren't actually affected by the weekly reset, outside of things like the weekly bounties, and then perhaps any powerful or pinnacle drops. And otherwise, most things are pretty persistent. But bearing in mind nonetheless, and Bungie also said, we've resolved an issue where players were not receiving Dawning quests or cookie ingredients. so players need to speak to Eva to pick up the quest. If you were affected by that yesterday, hopefully the issue will be resolved. I know some players were able to access the quests via the kiosk and things like that. And otherwise, we did cover the bulk of the rewards and recipes for Dawning 2020 in our video yesterday, so I'll link that down below. We do have quests continuing throughout the course of the event, and interestingly, we do have to generate community Dawning Spirit. When we look at those quest steps on Destiny Item Manager, we can see the 5 reward packages that we'll get at the various thresholds. Some curious kind of consumable, or what appear to potentially be joke gifts for the Dawning. So you've got the Braytech gift certificate, a certificate valid only at our Mars branch. The Infinite Fruitcake, where there is no reality in which this is an acceptable gift. The Sock Engram, which contains a single sensible sock. And Vexdog, which we're advised not to consume. By the looks of it, these will probably be random joke cards more than actual consumable items. Quick thing to bear in mind here though while we're talking about updates. We are going to get another hotfix releasing tomorrow on December 17th. There could be a few patch notes for that, and if there are any important things, I'll keep you posted tomorrow. But also over the reset yesterday, there was a pop-up saying that the Crow and Hawkmoon mission was now available. And because we know we're probably going to get a replayable mission in some format to actually reforge the Hawkmoon and get random rolls, we were curious as to whether something was happening with that, but DMG said the message was intended for those who have yet to complete the initial quest. And if you've already snagged the exotic, there's nothing more to see just yet, but random rolls will come at a later date. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer, but spoiler alert, as players have been discussing over the past few days, we do know that there is an additional hidden area in the reservoir in the European Dead Zone. And the quest Let Loose Thy Talons, which is the Hawkmoon quest, technically isn't completed yet. And at some point in the future, we are going to get access to additional parts of that quest and the hidden area, where we'll acquire a new exotic ship. So that'll be pretty cool. We'll have to stay tuned and see what that is. And that of course is separate to an end of season or kind of final season quest as part of the story for Season of the Hunt. And we will fight a final kind of hunt enemy as well as getting access to another very cool exotic ship. So exotic ships all round, especially paired with the Dawning at the moment. Nonetheless, neat that there's more stuff to come. And as always, give us your thoughts about it down below. Now though, quick shout if you want the Penguin location for Europa this week. And this time it is in the Reis Reborn approach. Not sure if I'm saying that name correctly, but if you start in Eventide Ruins right here, we essentially follow the route that we'd take for the Dark Priestess Empire hunt. So firstly go to the gravity lift. From here it's a fairly linear path, so head through the first couple of rooms until you get to this outside open area. You can head over to the right hand side, jump up on top of this kind of silo style roof, onto the platform up top, and then you head over the bridge. And when we go up the stairs, there is a yellow bar Fallen Marauder. And when we kill this guy, he'll drop the Penguin for the week. That one can once again be returned to Varix. So that's the Penguin location for this week on Europa. Another quick shout right here, but Xbox actually set a Guinness World Record for the largest projected video game display in the world. And they actually ran Beyond Light, projecting it onto the side of a mountain. We can see right there horizontally, the display is 180 foot wide, which is pretty crazy stuff. And no doubt that's running at 4K 60 FPS on the Series X. I'll link Xbox's tweet down below if you do want to check out the video, as it's just a random neat thing, I suppose. But the very final thing I wanted to share with you guys, gotta say a massive thank you to Bungie and Premier Comms for sending over a really neat Dawning gift box right here. So quick unboxing as always. I'm glad I had a flat surface to put this on because you can see that it is full of biodegradable snow, as they called it right here. But very kindly, Bungie sent over some Destiny cookie cutters. So you can see there are a few different ones right there, themed around different things in the game, but also some very cool Destiny cookies. I got a little bit of snow on the cookies. I hope the snow is edible. But also a Destiny cookbook. Of course, you can get some of these items via the Bungie store, so I'll link that down below. But very cool kind of Dawning gift right there as well. There's a super neat Dawning card. So once again, thank you to Bungie for sending that over. I thought it would be neat to share with you guys here. But for now, that is everything we have to speak about in this video. As always, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And be sure to give us any of your thoughts on what we've spoken about down in the comment section. And also feel free to drop us a like rating down below, as it really does help us out on the channel. But for now, I appreciate you tuning in. And whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.